Let's go Mets. Let's go Mets. Let's go Mets. Yeah.
You gotta believe and invest with your heart. Orange and blue till Mets do us part. Spring training, oh yes, it's the start. City Field gritty till Mets do us part. Hit home runs and knock it out the park. Big Apple till Mets do us part. You gotta believe and invest with your heart. Listen to the show till Mets do us part. John from Brooklyn, KB reps NJ. With the other team, I don't care what your friends say. Mets fans, we focus like a sensei. Listen to the podcast Monday, Wednesday. Made a couple bad plays, but we still won. Character, yup, we're gonna build some. Are you gonna check the pod? Is real fun. Just like Mookie, I will, son. So invest with your heart. Orange and blue till Mets do us part. Spring training, oh yes, it's the start. City Field gritty till Mets do us part. Hit home runs and knock it out the park. Big Apple till Mets do us part. You gotta believe and invest with your heart. Listen to the show.
Available now on all streaming platforms. If you love the New York Mets, check out Till Mets Do Us Part. Enough rapping. Let's get to yapping.
What is up, Mets fans? Good to see, as always, Matt Ibanez here, a.k.a. Ibby. Till Mets Do Us Part, checking in live on a Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A little bit different than normal, doing a post-game reaction video here for the NL Wild Card Series. Game 1 for our New York Mets against those vaunted Milwaukee Brewers who we had a hard time with last weekend. But we're going to break it all down here today. I'm excited. I'm pumped up. The room's starting to fill up. We got 32 and counting so far. I see the chat starting to fill up. I am excited to talk to each and every one of you and to talk about some of the stories that I have about the game yesterday. And I'm sure that all of you have as well. How you experienced it. I want to hear from everybody. I want to talk about all of it. And most of all, break down exactly what we just watched today as our New York Mets got the win in Game 1, 8-4 over those Brewers to take a much-needed 1-0 lead in this overall series. So, before we get into everything, shout out to the chat. Good to see everyone filling in the room so far. I see Stevie Mac. I see Brad. I see Corey. I see Steph. I see Rube. I see Armand. I got a lot of good vibes rolling in the chat right now. I am feeling high. I am feeling good. I am excited off of yesterday into today, how things started, where they ended up. It's all good vibes for our New York Mets and, of course, for us New York Mets fans. Now, as you can see, I'm solo today. And, you know, it's unfortunate that John's not here because I know he's traveling and all these things, but I put in a favor. I put in a call and I said, we got to try to make this work. Let's see if this can actually happen. And believe it or not, coming to you live, not from New York. No, it's not Saturday night. Coming to you live from the Sydney, Australia airport, the man himself will not miss a show. He's here to talk New York Mets. And that is my partner, my co-host, Mr. John Saponaro. John, welcome into the show.
Ibby, thanks for that awesome introduction. After an awesome Mets game for our unbelievable streaking New York Mets. Yes, I am at the Sydney airport here at the illustrious food court, as you can see behind me. So, I don't know how long I'll be able to be in the show. It all kind of depends, but I've got about an hour until I board. So, listen, man, I was watching the game, and so I was like, if you're going live, I'm going to at least try to get on for a little bit. Because this is a big win. It was an emotional day yesterday, and I think whenever you have an emotional game like what we had yesterday, from the fans, from the players' perspective, it's easy to have that letdown game. And the Mets did not have a letdown game. They came back. It almost seemed like yesterday's emotion in Game 1 kind of galvanized them to be the team that they've been for most of the season, which is, never say die, come back. And they come back on a team that is the strength of their team is their bullpen. And so now, you put yourself, look, the series isn't over yet. You got to win 2 games. But, you win that first game. You put all the pressure on the other team. They have Mania going tomorrow on full rest. So there's a lot to like about what's happening right now with the New York Mets, especially when you punch back a team in the mouth the way that they did with the Brewers. The Brewers try to make every matchup change they can make to get their best relievers in, and the Mets meet them at every turn and, beat them. And they put up, 5 runs in 1 inning? So yep. It's a good time to be a Mets fan here in Sydney, Australia at 10:30 tomorrow morning.
It's as John is coming to us live from the future. It's a fantastic time to be a Mets fan anywhere. And of course, some of the comments coming in, we got Stevie Mac saying, eat some Vegemite. He's just telling you what you should be doing while you're over there. Say hello to Crocodile Dundee coming in from Jeff Cohen. Look, we're having good times over here in the chat. We're having a fun time as always. Tomorrow, I got Armand telling me in the chat. I got Rube telling me in the chat as well. We got Mania versus Montas. That's going to be the matchup for tomorrow. So we'll see how things go. Hopefully, Mania can bounce back and have a much better outing than he did his last time out. But before we get into all of that, I have to talk about yesterday, and I know this is more so of a post-game reaction show, but I want to talk about yesterday mainly because everyone took it in a different way. It was the hour of the day. It was tough for me. I'm at work. I had a game right after and coaching and everything. But I just want to tell my story real quick as I'm taking everything in. I'm watching Schwellenbach on my phone, listening to Howie, just mowing us down. Everything that's happening, you're just like, oh my God, they can't touch this guy. Mike Scott all over again, what have you. And it's like, what can they do to break through? Can they get to the bullpen? So what ends up happening? They get to the bullpen. The magical 8th inning happens. I'm listening to all of this, mind you, everyone. I'm listening to all of this on the bus. On the bus, going to my game to coach my kids up. And they're like, Coach, what are you doing? I'm like, the Mets are on. And all of a sudden, when that happens, the inning starts to get going a little bit. I'm not saying much, but the Nimmo home run happens, and I go absolutely ape shit on the bus. I'm going nuts. Like, Coach, what's wrong? I was like, Nimmo just hit a home run. They're up 6-3. They're 6-3. And then we get to the field. The opposing coach looks tense. I'm like, what's up? Like, he's a good friend of mine. I go, what's up? He goes, Mets fan. I go, you're a Mets fan too? And all of a sudden, like, we're going back and forth, and then Diaz blows it, and we're listening to it. Oh my God, we're trying to get ground rules to start. We're like, Diaz blows the game, and all of a sudden, we get even closer. We get to each other, right? We get to each other for ground rules. Umpires are late. They're like, sorry guys, we're listening to the Met game in our car. So we're like, wait a minute, we're all Mets fans here. I got Howie in my pocket, going absolutely insane because Lindor hits the home run, and we're all like hugging and shaking hands before the game even starts. We're going crazy. Mets take the lead, and obviously they ended up winning the game. And we all celebrated between innings amongst Mets fans. But it was absolutely insane for all of that to happen. And I'm curious, were you just staying home? Were you on the couch watching the game, taking everything? How did it feel?
For me, it was crazy because I was home. Can you hear me okay?
I got you. Yeah, you're good.
In the background, yeah.
I got you.
So, for me, it was, I was home. And so, just being home was a little easier. But I did have to pack for this trip. I'm gone for 12 days. So during the early parts of the first game, I'm like just making a packing list because I'm like, there's no way I can sort through my laundry. There's no way I can start packing my suitcase. And I kind of was running the risk, right? Because the Mets lose that first game. It's like, how am I supposed to do any of this with everything on the line in the second game? Even if the Braves don't have anything to play for, even if the Braves aren't going to start Chris Sale, and it seems like Chris Sale wasn't healthy, and that was like the worst kept secret in the world because a lot of people were speculating about that kind of over the course of the last week or so. Yeah. So I was just home, but it didn't change just the feelings, the intensity. I mean, everybody, a lot of people who watch the show and listen to the show follow me on Twitter. And, I was live tweeting the same way I was live tweeting today. Not everything. I'm not giving play-by-play, but, just reactions, big moments, stuff like that. And I did put out a video as soon as it was over. And it was brief. It was 20, 30 seconds. And basically it was, hey, I was kind of in tears because I was kind of in shock that, not in shock like the Mets couldn't do it, but it'd be in shock that it happened. You know what I mean? There was this massive roller coaster of emotions, and they talked about it on the broadcast. Roller coaster season, roller coaster game. Of course, it would come down to something like that. But I think we all thought, and I'm not a same old Mets guy. I've been just ardently opposed to. Oh, this is just like what happened in the past. It's like what happened in the past has no bearing on what's happening right now. But you can't help but think that, man, they're out of that inning if Diaz just runs over and covers the bag. And what a bad way to lose that game. What a heartbreaking way to lose that game. And obviously Diaz comes apart a little bit after that, but I understand why. I'm not trying to give him a pass. He didn't really pitch well, but I understand why, because he was probably in his own head. He was probably distraught and devastated, probably needed to refocus. And I love the fact that he went over to Mendoza after talking to Jeremy Hefner and said, no, you got to put me back out there. I will take us home. I fucked up, and now I'm going to wear it, and I'm going to go out there, and I'm going to be the one to close this out after Lindor's big home run. And, you know, Ibby, for a guy who threw like 67 pitches in 2 days as a closer, he looked so much better in that final inning than he did before that. So just an unbelievable moment. And when it was over, like I said, I did this quick video because I was just – the Mets, what is this, the 11th playoff appearance in their 60-plus years of existence? So, you know, we haven't seen that many of them in our lives. And, you know, especially you and I, people who, you know, didn't live through the glory days of 86 and 69 and 73. And so when we've gotten them, they've been fewer and further between. But I think there was this moment for me last night that felt like, for the first time, they didn't succeed in spite of their ownership. They succeeded because of their ownership. They succeeded because of their leadership. Because even though 2022 was a better team on paper and a better team record-wise, you know, you still had people at the helm. Well, Cohen was there, but you still had people at the helm that you're like, man, I don't know. We've all said from the beginning of when he was hired, trust David Stearns, trust Steve Cohen. And I feel like for all of us that have been banging that drum, yesterday was this moment of like, you see, not I told you so, because I don't want to stick it in other Mets fans' faces, but it's just like, you have to understand that there is a tide turning that is happening here. And we're watching it in real time. And I tweeted out something before during the game, you know, where the Mets are 17-9, best record or whatever it is in September. And people were still trying to call this a collapse after they had 3 bad games in a terrible scenario. So, you know, you got these people that are just obsessed with misery and they want them to fail. Deep down, they want them to fail, even though they claim to be fans of this team. And so for us that stuck by it, for us that have defended Edwin Diaz, for us that never wavered on Francisco Lindor, you know, to see him do what he did when he gets the final out, and how fitting that he gets the final out in that game. And then he just, you know, puts his hand and his glove down on the bag, and you can see the tears in his eyes. I mean, it was just, that's how I felt. You know, it's like all these years and years and years of Mets fandom. Ibby, I feel like, look, I don't know what's going to happen. I hope they win a World Series.
Know.
We all do.
Of course you do, yeah.
But it feels like things are turning. This feels bigger than just this season, bigger than just getting in, because everybody who's like, oh, I've seen this movie before. Well, if you've seen this movie before and all those negative people in the past, the Mets lose. The Mets don't find a way to make it to the playoffs. And the Mets certainly don't come out and punch back in a game like today. So it just feels like the tide is turning for this team, for this franchise moving forward. And that's why it was emotional for me yesterday.
And I just want to bring up a couple of comments real quick. Matt Williams checking in, former guest of the show, saying an easy, relaxing, and enjoyable playoff game. What universe am I living in? Okay, yeah, it's little things like that. Everything that you hit on is right. I was just having a conversation with Rube, who's in the chat, and TJ, who's not in the chat yet, but he might stop in later. We were talking throughout the game, and we were just saying how, you know, it's a changing of the tide. This is what, like, no matter what, this team, and I know they don't like that. I know that Howie mentioned today that they don't like the term house money, but I do believe that this team has played beyond expectations and is playing with house money, to the point that we go back to that meeting where they said, look, no one's expecting anything of you. Just go out and play baseball. This is the same thing. People are still expecting nothing of you. They think you just want to be there just because, oh, you're happy to be there. But no, they come out today. They're down quickly. Okay, it looks like it might not be a sharp day for Sevy, and then he battles and gives you 6, and you end up fighting back and scoring and taking the lead and dominating this game. And now, in turn, even though with your crazy schedule, have flipped things on the Brewers, and now you have the advantage when it comes to pitching as opposed to them. So it's the little things here. And yes, I agree with you 1,000%. This team does feel that they are winning and thriving because of the help that they have gotten from the powers that be. And I agree with you 1,000%. I'm going to bring up a comment that Chris had, which was very fitting. He says, let's also say you would never see Fred and Jeff high-fiving and hugging players as they went into the dugout. It's an overall culture that we've spoken about for the longest time. And I know culture is a word that is beaten to death and people are tired of hearing it. But at the same time, that's what I want to see. I want people that care. I want people that are emotional. I want people that are going to live and die with this team. And it's clear that when you have people that care, like Cohen, like Stearns, and the players that you bring in that truly care, like Francisco Lindor. I said on this show, and I'm pissed off that I couldn't find the clip, but I don't know if it was last week or if it was 2 weeks ago, where I said, when we were talking about Lindor and his back and how I wanted so many things for him beyond an MVP, and I mentioned how I loved that moment that he had in Cleveland in Game 2 against the Yanks, where he hit that home run, that go ahead. I'm sorry, that to pull them within one run. They were down 5. He hits the grand slam off the foul pole. Incredible moment. Cleveland went insane, and I said I've been wanting that moment for the longest time for him on this team, and I wanted it somewhere in the playoffs. Well, guess what? I will take it to get into the playoffs, which can now maybe breed another moment that can come up. But that was an incredible home run. It was an incredible moment. And the fact that he was such a goddamn G by simply going around the bases like it was another home run is what made it even better. He didn't pump his chest. He didn't go insane. He just went down, head went down, rounded the bases, and did his thing. And that made him look that much more of a badass, and it's a moment that I will never forget.
It's funny, right? Because there was this, like, flip the script moment. It's kind of like, and I don't think I'm going to be spoiling anything here because the movie came out a long time ago now, but the culmination of, the Infinity Saga in the MCU, right, is the role
Spoilers, John.
between it's the role reversal between Cap and Iron Man, right? Like, right. Iron Man has always been Cap's always the self-sacrificing player, and Iron Man always the self-centered guy, the guy who's not going to make the sacrifice play, like Steve Rogers points out. And, at the end of it, they both kind of get that moment where Tony gets to make the ultimate sacrifice play, and Steve gets to live the life that he had to give up the whole way along. The reason why I bring that up is because not that Lindor is showy, but Lindor plays with a lot of swag. Of course he does. And so for Lindor to hit that big home run and treat it like it was any other home run that didn't matter, just like almost like a spring training home run in his trot, right, was so badass. But then at the same time, for Nimmo to hit a home run and pimp it, acknowledge
and then do the tongue out to Michael Harris. That was awesome.
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
Great.
So I love that little role reversal that both of those guys got a chance to do. Not that they were going against their nature, but just like it shows you how big both of those moments were, and they both handled it so appropriately. Like that, if there's ever a time for Nimmo to show emotion, that was the time. If there was ever a time for Lindor to just be like, just shrug it off and just okay. Yeah. I don't have to do anything. I just did it. I don't have to swag this out. I just did it by hitting the ball over the wall. So I just absolutely love that moment. It was unbelievable for both guys, and I respect the hell out of Diaz, like I said before, for going over and saying I got to close this game out. And you know what, I think it was the right move too for Mendoza, because you bring in anybody else. Yeah, I got this shit. You bring in anybody else and the Mets lose that game. You're even with all the pitches he threw, you're like, why are you not going one of your best relief pitchers? Why is your best relief pitcher not out there on the mound? Especially when he comes over to you and says, Skip, I need this. I have to do this. I have to do this because it's my fault that we're here. You got to give me this chance. And you know what? Mendoza all season long has been a guy who does a lot of stuff by feel. He's been a guy who really
Gut guy,
trusts
yeah.
his gut, and he's been
Yep.
rewarded more times than not.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to jump back to the comments real quick. And of course, we got 119 people in here right now. Make sure you hit the like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We're still trying to give away this Edwin Diaz ball, which we will do eventually once we hit 1,000, and we are creeping up into the 830 mark. 840 mark. So let's make sure we keep on subbing the channel. Like the video. It helps with the algorithm and helps our overall channel grow. So thank you there. Chris Ferraro checking in saying that Gary said it best, 2024 season in one game. The overall roller coaster that we on this show said this was going to be. So that in itself is something to really take home. We got TJ checking in that in his Bray Wyatt voice that he is here. I like it. Good to see you, T. Good to see you in the building. We have some more things I'm going to get into when it comes to the game today, which we'll cover in a moment. But the person I was waiting for to show up in the chat, I tried to get the attention last night in Ant's chat. Shout out to Ant for having a great show last night also. I gotta say it. Rosie K. Rosie saying that I was right all along. Rosie, you were so worried about the Braves, and I kept on telling you in every single chat to calm down, to relax. We got this. We're going to make it to the playoffs. We're going to win. And lo and behold, Francisco Lindor does his thing and what he has to do. And unfortunately, we've lost John for a moment. We'll see if he can get back. I know he's dealing with some tough Wi-Fi, but we'll see if we can get him up and running in a little bit. But I'm going to continue getting back into the comments in a minute. But seriously, the game today, and I'll take that comment down because I don't want to seem like I'm full of myself. But there we go. So the game today, and I see some comments I want to pull up. I'm going to bring up TJ's real quick. We'll talk about the overall positives of the game. And obviously winning 8-4 brings forth a lot of positives to be good. Let me get the ticker going as well. Brings up a lot of positives as well. So when we see things, and T brought up some here, so many positive things about today. Pete laying off that outside pitch and taking the walks. Tyler and Jose continue to be hustle machines, providing and helping this team in spots you don't think they're going to. JD finally having an at-bat that was an overall strong at-bat in comparison to what we've been seeing. And the hitting with runners in scoring position, okay? In one day, I feel like they almost cut in half the RBI total that they had for the entire month of September. I think runners in scoring position today, they had 4, and I think for the month of September, it was like 10 until the last game, obviously. But prior to that, it was rough sledding. It was. So to see this team waking up, and I said it this morning in a tweet, I go, this team, guys, everyone, 0-0. That's it. We're starting fresh. New game right now. Okay? So this team, I said I hoped they were going to be riding high off of the champagne and the adrenaline to push them through this game. But they came out swinging. And they played their asses off. Okay? And it's something to be commended for. They were great. Okay, I want to jump back into the comments more, see what else we have going on here before I continue with breaking down the game and hopefully give John some time to potentially get back on the show. But let's see what we got here. I got Chris Ferraro saying, can I shout out Jose Iglesias? This man said yesterday, I'm grabbing this opportunity with 2 hands and not letting it go. That man hustled today and all season. And when we look back on this season, regardless of what happens in the end, he is going to be at the forefront 1,000%. Okay, 1,000%. And I got to say something. When I saw the SNY interview yesterday, amongst all the champagne, all the celebrating, all that stuff, and everyone's excited, and Steve Gelbs was talking with Jose Iglesias, I couldn't help but like the way he was acting. It felt as though that classic SNY, Wilmer Flores one from 2015, where he was like, SNY, I love you people. Like those were the vibes that I got from that. And I think that there is kind of some correlation there. And maybe we have some of that magic too. Look, it's one game. We're up 1-0. We still got to win another one in order to move on. But either way, like that's what I'm feeling. And I don't know if that's what you guys are feeling, but in general, it's hard to not be excited right now. It really is. And we're in a place where we've been dying to get to for the longest time, and that's October baseball. Even though we were just here 2 years ago, this team feels different. We talked about that from the jump for the last 2 or 3 weeks, saying how this team is trending up whereas 2022 we were trending down and they were toast. They were cooked. They had nothing left, and it showed. And the Met fan knew it too, and that's why nobody really showed up at City, which was very unfortunate. But I'm telling you right now, if this team gets through here and they win tomorrow or they win Thursday, however they do it, and they're going up against Philly, and we get back to City Field, that place is going to be absolutely electric. It's going to happen. The fans are hungry. They believe in this team. Jump back into the comments real quick. Just going to have a lot of fun with you guys today. Mendoza knew you can't spell redemption without Ed. It's a good line. I like it. We got Rael coming into the chat. I haven't seen her in a while. Hey, all, can't hang, have to work, but want to say hi to my peeps. Tomorrow we win and then guarantee ourselves at least one game back in Queens. LGM. Rael, keep working hard. Hopefully, once your schedule changes, we can get you back in here on the regular. 116 of you in here right now. Make sure you please subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let me take a quick look over here right now. All right, we got 16 viewers on the YouTube side, 117 total. So I got a lot of you over on Twitter or on X, whatever we're doing. Again, head on over to YouTube, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, like the video. We have fun here every single weekend, every Wednesday normally, but I had to jump on because I'm not going to be able to get on tomorrow and Thursday. If I do, it'd be something very small, but I wanted to get on here to talk about, obviously, what happened yesterday with the Braves and getting in, as well as breaking down this overall game against the Brewers, which our New York Metropolitans won 8-4. Jumping back into the comments yet again. Armand letting us know the Padres are up 2-0. Okay. Screw the Braves. I hope they get swept out of the building. Checking in. Anything else new? Nothing. Yes, Smith Shawver's going for the Braves. Oh, I know what I wanted to bring up. Talking about today's game. Armand bringing up Jesse Winker. We saw that exchange with Winker and Adames, whatever that was about. Winker said that he doesn't really want to speak on it. He just wants to focus on the game tomorrow. Look, eventually, I'm sure we'll find out something. Something will leak out. Something will be said, and we'll get an idea as opposed to what happened. But look, I love when I see fire like that in players. And I said from the week before the trade deadline how much I wanted Jesse Winker to be a target for this team, how he made sense, how he fit in from a vibe standpoint, from a left-handed standpoint, from a rotational standpoint. It made all the sense in the world. And that man comes up big today with a 2-run RBI triple. It's just players like that step up when it matters. And you have young players that have been carrying this team. You have leaders like Lindor, but then you have those glue guys, those role guys, and, JD Martinez coming in with a big hit today as an older presence who's been slumping, but he does it when it matters most. Jesse Winker in a big spot when people were wondering, why is he getting the start? I know he had the bulky back. He was a little banged up, but he comes in and does his job because he had great numbers against Freddie Peralta. So it made sense to play the numbers there. And as John said before, the gut aspect, the calls that Carlos Mendoza makes are usually helping us more so than hurting us throughout this entire season. So you trust the gut of Mendy. Very simple with that. Armand also letting us know that players in Mets history with at least 2 hits and 2 RBIs in their postseason debut, Mr. Mark Vientos, Carlos Delgado, David Wright, and Edgardo Alfonso. Great company for the young third baseman. Great company for Mark Vientos. Mark Vientos, I can't get over the season he's having. I really can't. I know I was doubtful. I know many were, but he is, as I said in my chat before with Rube and TJ who are here, that's a dude. That's a ball player. And I love the fact that when he comes up, I have the most confidence outside of Lindor, really. Like when it comes to really, really needing something this season, it's Mark Vientos. And it's hard to argue that. You can love Nimmo, you can love the history of Pete, you can love Jose Iglesias, and those are all fine. But like Mark Vientos, man, everything he's done to this point in the season, I continue to be amazed by him, and I'm very happy that he's on our side. Rube also letting us know that saving Maton and Diaz today was huge. Sevy settling in and getting through 6 was much needed. I want to talk about Luis Severino real quick. Luis Severino is also a dude. Luis Severino is a guy that really is emotional. And I wanted to see that fire, that emotion when he really gets pumped up after a strikeout or a big out. And I said, that's the guy we need today. And when everything started at the beginning of this game, I was like, man, maybe it's not today. Maybe this isn't it. But he settles in. And then you have to look to Mendoza as well, because after the fourth, you might say, man, maybe we should go to the pen. Maybe it's the proper thing to do. Puts him out there for the fifth. Has probably his best inning. Puts him out there again for the sixth. Even better. He finishes strong. He protects you, as Rube said, by settling in. He protects the back end of the bullpen. Now, like I said, you have the advantage because of your offense, you forced the Brewers to go deeper into their pen and use more guys than they probably wanted to. It is huge from a planning standpoint, a tactical standpoint during the in-game. All of that matters. It was huge for Severino to get through 6, and he did it, which, again, harkens back to what we were just saying, winning that first game, protecting Sevy from having to throw that second game so he can be here for us today. All of it, it's all together. It all makes sense. But having those 6 innings was huge. And then to piggyback off of those 6, you got Butto coming in for 2. And he's an absolute dog. And I mean a dog in a good way, not a bad way. He got that dog in him where he went out there and handled business, shut him down for 6 outs. Huge. Now, does that take Butto away from us for the next 2 games? Possibly, because I said before, when Butto has gone 2 innings in a game, there was a minimum throughout the season. We didn't really see him for a couple of days, okay? Especially when he started to get that fatigue. So we might not see him. Maybe you see him for a game 3 if there's a game 3. Doubt you see him tomorrow. But the fact that you saved the back end, you didn't have to worry or even think about Diaz, even though I don't think he would have been available today. But either way, he's not thrown. Maton's not thrown. They're saved. It was the right move, in my opinion, to throw Stanek at the end. It made all the sense in the world to do that, I felt, because that's the guy that I trusted on the back end to do it. Playoff tested, guy who's been there before. I trusted it. It ends up being the right call, gets the 3 outs, and we go back to the hotel as a winner. Okay. All in all, loved everything that I saw from the pitching today. Loved everything that I saw from Sevy. Loved the fire. Loved the energy, and just the overall guts to go out there and do it for this team. Okay. Checking out the chat. Shout out to Mendy. Of course, Chris. People were questioning the guy. We were all here when everyone was bitching and moaning, questioning the guy. Craig Counsell stuff, all that. Where's Craig Counsell right now? He's home. That's where he is. He's home. Chris also saying that Winker was big today. Had some great numbers against Peralta. It's true. Rosie coming in saying they said that the Winker issue is because they hit him with a pitch on 9/27. Okay. Believe me, the Twitter investigators will find out. Okay. Stevie Mack saying he didn't see the Winker having a triple today on his bingo card. I love it. Steph coming in saying that I know you love Sevy. I know you do. Me and you, the Lindor people, John Lindor person. Like, I know. Chris also saying Sevy, Tyler, and Fuego, 3 big starting pitching outings in a row. Shout out to Joey Fuego, man. Protecting the pen in a game that didn't matter. Protecting the pen there to help us here as well. Coming up as a 27, like, shout out to you, Joey Fuego. Shout out to the Churv forever. Never forget you. You played a part in all of this. Carlos saying that Sevy is a dog. It's true. TJ coming in. You saw 2 managers make moves that turned the game. Mendy believed in Sevy and it worked. Murphy didn't think Peralta had it today and it ended up killing them. That is spot on. Spot on. I was shocked when they pulled Peralta. He said he didn't want Murphy during that interview saying that he didn't want him to go through another time through the order. Thought he was done. Very blunt about it, as me and T were talking about before. Very blunt about it. But I think it's a move you can question, especially how things ended up spiraling and then how many arms you had to end up using out of your pen, which makes things more difficult for you tomorrow. And this was a big game. I understand you need to win, but sometimes you might have to secede and realize, hey, I got to protect myself. I got to play for tomorrow too. So we'll see what ends up happening. We'll see how much gas Montas has in the tank to try to protect that bullpen for them. This is a good point by Chris also. Well, I think Murphy leaned on his pen being a strength, but it flopped today. Everyone talked about coming into this game, the strength of the Brewers bullpen, and Mets took advantage of it. Mets hit against it. Okay, Mets did well. Okay, now they're a little bit tired. So, yeah, spot on. Rube feeling confident. Manaea is going to deal tomorrow. You already know it. Rube's a betting man. We'll see what happens. Steph saying next year, if anyone bashes Lindor, I'm going to jail, Ibby. Yeah, I'm right here with you. My man. Always here. My guy. Always and forever. So much love, so much appreciation for a guy that has taken so much shit from people, had to listen to so much nonsense. With a broken back, puts the team on his back. Carries us to where we are today. Deserves all the love in the world, all the respect in the world. Not from the idiots. Forget those people. They're always going to exist. You don't need that energy. Take the good energy. Francisco, you deserve all of it. You are the man, and I love you. We all love you. Maureen, checking in. Hey, everyone just got home from work. Can't believe I missed the whole game. Maureen, it's okay. You're here right now, and I'm glad that you're here. It's always fun to have a conversation with you. It's always fun talking Mets. LGM, big time win, 8-4. Mets handled business. I'll give you a quick breakdown for you in case you weren't aware. Winker with the 2-run triple brings it to 2-2. Marte has the sac fly to make it 3-2. Churio has the RBI, makes it 3-3. Contreras with the fielder's choice. They take the lead 4-3. Iglesias's hustle to first dives in, is safe. Tyrone Taylor with the smart base running behind him to tie the game 4-4. Vientos has the 2-run single, 6-4. And then JD goes the other way because his back is shredded. And that's the only thing he can do now. But it's okay because the ball squeaks through. Base knock, 2-run single, 8-4. Your New York Mets take advantage. And they run high on the champagne from yesterday and keep the good vibes rolling. Yeah, love to see it. TJ coming in with a question. Do you think Tyler and Trevor McGill get dinner while the Mets are in Milwaukee? I'll hang up and listen to your response. You know what? That's a good question. It's just like, I wonder if the Giants, if the San Francisco Giants are ever in town, they have dinner with the New York Giants. Or when the Texas Rangers are in town, do they have dinner with the New York Rangers? It's a good question. I'm going to say yes. I think that the McGills do get dinner together while they're in Milwaukee. Maybe even share a beer together with Bernie. Rosie saying Lindor looked like he was in a lot of pain today. Don't bring that energy to me right now, Rosie. I do not want that energy at the moment. My man is going to be okay. He's going to keep pushing. And it seemed as though he said as much in that post-celebration interview with Gelbs, where he was like, it's time to move forward. We got ball games to win. He's going to push. And I think he's going to be okay. Checking in with the chat. Anything else we got here? Here's a good one. Armand, who's slowly becoming our stat guy, and I love it. Armand, the Mets the first team to win their postseason opener after trailing by multiple runs through the first inning since the Nationals in the 2019 wild card game versus Milwaukee. Other wild card teams, the 11 Phils, the 02 Twins, and the 97 Yanks. And that 19 Nationals team, they did pretty good. They had a pretty good run, if I remember correctly. Also, Armand letting us know that the NLDS schedule winner of the Mets and Brewers will face off with the Phillies on Saturday at 4 p.m. on Fox. So they're starting to set forth the scheduling for the rest of the week. Hopefully, our New York Mets can handle business tomorrow, get a win. And if it's not tomorrow, hopefully on Thursday, get that win so we can have a date with those Philadelphia Phillies as we enter that trash city of Philadelphia to try to get a win. But we got to handle business first while we are in Milwaukee, as we've basically set up shop there since we've been there for the last week, it feels like. But all in all, good stuff. Now, where else are we? Rube coming in saying how Winker and JD, the vets coming up big. 100%. Said that before. Love it. Maureen being thankful for the recap. You are welcome, Maureen. Anytime you need something, I got your back. Don't you worry. And Chris letting us know that playoff tickets were very cheap for Milwaukee, if only for New York. I mean, look, things have changed a lot for me since 2015 when me and TJ in the chat were going to all those Met games and having a blast and spending $700 on World Series tickets to sit up in the nosebleeds. But I'm still very glad that we did that, and I had an unbelievable time, and that whole playoff run was crazy. But yeah, just I think the cheapest seat for once the Mets tickets went on sale was like $170, and that was to sit all the way up with like your back up against Keith's number. Like you're paying $170 for that, and you're still paying a pretty penny for standing room only also. So, it is what it is. It'd be great to get to a game. I don't know if that's going to happen, but either way, I'm going to be watching every single moment along the way, any way that I can. That's for sure. 130 of you are in here right now. We're about 40 minutes in. I wanted to come on for a little bit just to make sure we did something today. I wanted to have some fun, catch up with everyone, because like I said, tomorrow we won't have a show. Thursday we won't have a show, and then we'll probably come back at a later date within the following week. But I might still try to mix in some smaller things, maybe some shorts along the way to just put out some feelings, or maybe I'll do one of these again, like a small one real quick. But that's kind of where I am at the moment. Things are a little bit crowded. Like I said, with coaching, October is a crazy month for me, but I'm trying to make it all work, especially because our New York Mets are actually playing October baseball. So I have to make sure that I do squeeze in some time to talk about the team that I am overly obsessed with and love so much. Padres up 3-0, bottom second, 1 on, 1 out. Christopher, all solo, it'd be as fun. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, Chris. Yeah, I love coming on here during the solo shows and just mix it up and just get these thoughts out of my head. And I like having fun with you guys, and I love the back and forth. And it's more focused on you as opposed to just me and John having our conversation than having you guys supplement in. We have a great time with that, but it's days like this that I enjoy a lot too, because I just get to have fun with each and every one of you and just talk about this team. And believe me, I could talk about this team, well beyond the amount of time that we do on this show on the regular. Like we talk for an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. I could keep on going and going and going, but I have to, be an adult and take care of things in my life. So that's not possible. But either way, it's a blast every single time. 130 of you in here right now. Please make sure you hit the like on the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're over on the Twitter side, please head on over to YouTube. Check us out. Sub the channel. We have fun every single Wednesday around 5:30. Special episode today because of the post-game wild card series game 1 victory against the Brewers, and because scheduling is going to have us a little bit off for the next couple of days. I wanted to get something in. So shout out to all of you that are here with me right now. 131 on a whim. Once I made the room this afternoon, late afternoon, and I set it for 8:30 in hopes that I got to come on here to talk about a win. And thankfully I did. So shout out to each and every one of you for being here with me. Take a quick look at the current likes and views. Hey, if you haven't liked the video, there's some of you in here that haven't even liked it yet. Make sure you like the video. It goes a long way and help us. It's one click, just one click, like the video. That's all I need. Okay. Checking in with the chat. TJ coming in. We cheered for Harvey to come back out, and then we wanted to jump off the section 503 onto Alex Gordon. Oh my God. Going back on that train when after that game was over, when we left, I felt like there was a shotgun hole in my chest that I did not lose until first pitch of the 2016 season. I couldn't shake the feeling. We did cheer for him to go back out. Everyone did. It was the right call to do. Maybe he stayed out too long, but that's history. We're moving forward. and we are repping our Grimace, Gay, Mets, Hawk Tua Mets, all the Pimp, Rally Pimp Mets, everything. We are rocking with the OMG Mets. We're rocking with all of it, and we're having a blast. Yes, Steph, what a good problem to have. Exactly. What a good problem to have when it comes to the Mets being in October baseball. I love it. Rube letting us know, F the Braves. Absolutely. Can't stand them. Screw them. The Champagne episode after the World Series with TJ and I will be epic. I hope so, man. I really do. Whether it's this year or some year, I want it to happen so fucking badly. I really do. Keep coming in with the chat. Chris saying, I missed the show. Life crazy the past few months. I haven't been able to be on live. Hey, man, I know. Look, you send me messages all the time. You let me know what's up. We catch up when we can. I know you sent me a message today. I liked it. I didn't get a chance to answer back because I was a little bit busy. But I always appreciate our side conversations. And you get here when you can get here. You're an original. You're someone that supported us for a long time, and I appreciate you. I'm sure we're definitely going to run into each other at the QBC if you're going. I will be there again. Some more news will break on that, eventually with some more ideas and more guests. So hopefully I'll see you there. We can catch up there as well. But that will definitely be a good time to talk some ball and hopefully, talk more about what happened with this season. Hopefully a lot of good. Armand coming in and saying that Sevi said during his presser, I knew Diaz was not going to be available tonight, so anything I could do to help the bullpen, I would do it. And I love hearing things like that. I absolutely love hearing players supporting each other, not focused on themselves, focused on the team, focused on the overall goal. You're there for each other. You're supporting your brother next to you. That's a team. That's what felt like it was missing for so long with this team. Felt like people were out for themselves, that they hated each other, that they weren't supporting each other. And now that we hear this and we see it playing out and you go out there and you bust your ass for the guy next to you, you pick up the glove for the guy next to you, that's what you want in a team. That's winning baseball. That's October baseball. And that's where our New York Mets are right now. Listen to Rube. Smash that like button. Smash that sub. Do what you got to do. Support the channel any way you can. I appreciate and love every single one of you. I love doing this show. I'm going to do it as long as I possibly can. Not tonight. I just meant in general. The show. I'm going to do it as long as I can. And I appreciate all of you for allowing us to grow as much as we have. And I expect more growth to happen over the off season as well. And we're going to hit some more mile markers. And I'm very pumped about that. Armand saying I enjoy Ibby's and mine's DMs. Oh yeah, we send some good memes back and forth to each other. We send a good back and forth. So I do appreciate them as well, Armand. Chris will be at the QBC. Jose Reyes in the building. That's right. Rosie saying that Sevy's a sharp dresser. I don't have it on in front of me, so I didn't see any of the stuff right now. I don't have a TV down here, but I definitely will watch it after the fact. A lot of talking. I drink a lot during the show, so I had to make sure I snuck one in there. So I appreciate that. Quick break there. I hate to give you guys dead air. Let's see. We've got to ask John if he's eating kangaroo again. I'm sure he will. And he'll have some kind of crazy story. He might actually. You know what, Chris? The fact that he got jumped or his Wi-Fi cut out, probably a kangaroo like cut the Wi-Fi cord. It was just like looked at him and like cut it and then just like socked him one because he like ate his brother last year. Who knows? But that may have happened. TJ wondering if John is watching old Ty Cobb highlights as opposed to being here. Like I said, I think a kangaroo jumped him or is beating the crap out of him right now at the Sydney, Australia airport. But maybe it was a kangaroo that was a descendant of the great Ty Cobb. Who knows? Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate you. Man. Looking forward to what you do have installed for us. Look, we're going to have a lot of fun in the offseason. We always do. I'll be making sure I do some more crazy graphics and some funny audio stuff. I already got ideas in my head. And the offseason will be a fun time. But we're not in the offseason yet, okay? We are definitely still in season, October baseball, talking playoff baseball with our New York Metropolitans. and it's an awesome time, and I want to keep this high going. I want to keep this overall feeling going, because when the Mets are hot, the Mets are playing meaningful baseball, I'm sure it makes all of our lives maybe a little bit more stressful, especially during in-game. Not so much today, which is good, but even though you're a little bit more stressed leading up to it, maybe even at the beginning, you're hanging on every pitch. It's okay. Your team is still there. You're alive. You feel that way. It shows that you're alive, that you care, that you truly love that team from Queens. Finally caught up with the chat. Yes, rest in peace to Pete Rose. Rest in peace to Dikembe Mutombo. Yes. Sad losses all around. I know people have their opinions on Pete Rose. It's never fun when someone loses life. And he was in his 80s. Polarizing player for many. Can't take away his stats. Can't take away the numbers. Pete Rose, Hall of Famer. I won't open that can of worms for people, but the numbers do tell a story. That's all I'll say on that. And rest in peace to him. I won't crack jokes like many did during it, so I will just say rest in peace to Pete Rose and to Dikembe Mutombo. One of the best. Too young. 58 years old, brain cancer. Awful. Awful, awful, awful. Way too young. Great person. Great personality. Great player. No. Always with the block, the finger wag. Iconic in that sense from a personality standpoint. Had a great career. And great person. Very charitable. Always gave money. Always supported people. It's unfortunate. 58 years old is way, way, way too young. So rest in peace to Dikembe Mutombo as well. Seeing what we got here. Sorry for the dead air. Oh, what a good quote coming in from Iglesias. I don't think the game has treated me fair, but I got this opportunity. Everything that is in the past is in the past. I'm here today to help this great organization, to help this great team. Outside of today, I forgot who sent it to me. Might have been Stevie Mack. Who sent me the graphic of the last time that the Tigers won a game in the playoffs was when Jose Iglesias was batting ninth for them, and it was a long time ago. So that's crazy. Obviously, shout out to the Tariq Skubal, the future AL Cy Young winner, and those guys handling business today and getting a win. I think it was 3-1. That was the score off the top of my head. But shout out to them for that big one. Steph saying that she's always I'm calm all season. This is where I get nauseous. Yeah, these games matter. They're big. Yes, TJ and I did meet Pete Rose in Vegas. Was a nice guy. Was hanging out at one of the memorabilia shops with his big white Cincinnati Reds hat. Nice guy. Very kind. Just unfortunate. Let's see what else we have here. Well, yeah, some of the stuff with Pete. Yeah, with Pete Rose. Hypocritical. The talking about like money lines and deals with DraftKings and FanDuel, all that stuff. Look, it's an entire can of worms. Like I said, I'm not going to bother opening it today because I don't think you need to. But I get where you're coming from. I do 1,000%. But yeah, I mean, I'll hang out for a little bit longer with you guys. Oh, we got breaking news. What do we got here? Jose Iglesias announces that the OMG remix will come out on October 11th. Jose Iglesias is doing me a solid, and he's releasing the remix on my anniversary, my wedding anniversary. Thank you, Mr. Iglesias. I appreciate it. I hope it's with Bad Bunny. But that's awesome. October 11th, it's going to be coming out on that Friday, which is my 5th year wedding anniversary. So awesome. Good stuff. I love it. I think it's going to be to a Pitbull. Mr. Worldwide, Mr. 305. Is that who it's going to be? Make it Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny's a big Met fan. That'll go crazy. Either way, I'm sure it'll be great, and it's all in good fun. And hopefully the Mets are still playing at that date. That'd be pretty cool. Thank you, Corey. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you. So 23 years. God bless, man. God bless. 23 years married. God bless to you, man. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Yeah, that's yeah, that's gonna be our anniversary song. Believe me, she hears the song enough because our girls, they love the song. They sing it now. They're 4 and 2, and they sing the song all the time, and it's hilarious and it's cute. But believe me, we hear the song. we hear the song plenty. So yeah. So a couple minutes left. Again, shout out to all of you. I'll do a quick read. I'm not going to make this a podcast episode. I'm just going to make this a regular, just a YouTube one because it was disjointed. It was broken up. It was just me. There wasn't really a format to it. I'm not going to make this a podcast episode. I'm going to keep this strictly on YouTube. So you guys that are watching it now, you're enjoying it in real time. And anyone else that sees it at a later date, hope you enjoy it. But I'll do a couple of quick reads real quick just to satisfy our sponsors, to give them quick shout outs. First of all, shout out again to Independent Safes. As always, Independent Safes are protecting homes and businesses with secure residential and commercial safes, fireproof peace of mind in every corner. Visit independentsafes.com today for security that stands strong. Does anyone need to go into the Independent Safe right now? I don't think that I have to put somebody in there. I don't think anyone has to go. The Braves might have put Chris Sale in an independent safe for too long, and he was sitting in there wondering, when are you going to let me out and pitch? They kept him in it for too long. His back acted up. It's crazy how Major League Baseball is having like a back epidemic. Everyone's back is getting hurt. Sale's got spasms. Lindor has his. Winker has his. JD has no back as it is. It's just crazy. Everyone's getting banged up with their back. And of course, shout out to our sponsor, our guys over at MANSCAPED. You know the deal. Where's that graphic? We're MANSCAPED people over here. Get 20% off plus free shipping when you use the promo code TMDUP at checkout over at manscaped.com. 20% off, free shipping. Use the promo code TMDUP. That's TMDUP for Til Mets Do Us Part. Look, I got all the stuff right here, guys. It's fantastic. You got the crop preserver. You got the crop soother. You got the lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Okay. You got the nose trimmer, the Weed Whacker 2.0. Fantastic items. Comes with a great carry-on bag as well. Right here, carries everything for you. A nice mat as well. Let you know we say balls. Let you make sure that you're not making a mess so your wife's yell at you. You don't want that. You want to make sure you're keeping things cleanly, or your significant others, whoever it may be. But yeah, shout out to them, repping us for a long time. Hopefully to keep that relationship moving forward. Once again, TMDUP at checkout over at manscaped.com. Get you 20% off and free shipping. Tell them that we sent you, and they'll hook it up. Manscaped.com. Comments rolling in quick. JDM addicted to the playoffs. That is true, my friend. That he is. Just a couple of everyone's just joking with each other in the comments. I love it. Coming up on the hour, guys. It's 9:30. I should probably get out of here. I got some stuff I got to do before. It's a school night. Got to work tomorrow. I got a game tomorrow too. And of course our Mets have a game tomorrow. So once again, incredible game on Monday. Just pure insanity. You'll never forget where you were. You'll never forget the moments. It will live and be etched in time forever for our team, from our guy, Francisco Lindor, our captain. Whether he gets a C or not, doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't. But he's the guy. He's the face. He's what matters. He's why we're here. A big part of why we're here. Deserves all the credit in the world. Big game tomorrow. Manaea versus Montas. Can the Mets close it out? And if they do, they get a couple days off to rest up and then prep up to go to that that trash city of Philadelphia to take on the rival Philadelphia Phillies. That'll be a fun one if we can get there, but we got to get there first. So once again, 128 of you here. We're closing in on the hour. I appreciate every single one of you. Make sure you hit the like on the video. Make sure you hit subscribe on the channel. Every little bit helps for us. One other thing. Once this video goes up, okay, once we're done here, not in the chat here, not in the live chat. Once the video posts, you can leave comments on the actual video. Make sure you drop an LGM in the comments there. Drop an LGM there. Helps us as well. Love to see it. Love to interact with everyone there as well. If you have questions or if you have anything that you want to add further or you forgot to put in, just make sure you throw an LGM under the comments section of the actual video once it posts. I would love that. I would appreciate that. And I appreciate all 132 of you that are here. Once again, if you haven't, like the video, subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way in helping us grow overall. I'm Matt Ibanez, a.k.a. Ibby. This is Til Mets Do Us Part. I appreciate and love all of you. Love the time that you gave me, hanging out with me after a big win. I know a lot of guys are running channels right now, but you came to hang out with me. It means a lot. I appreciate it. Have a good night, everyone. We're back tomorrow. The Mets are, that is, not the show. We're back tomorrow to watch our team hopefully move on to a division series. That being said, I am signing off. I appreciate all of you. Let's go Mets. And when this show comes back, hopefully we're talking more Mets baseball in the moment. And we are not eulogizing the season. We want to be talking about the now and the present. Go out there, win a ball game, keep this magical season rolling. That being said, I'm out, guys. Good night. Let's go Mets. Let's win some ball games. Have a good one.